Hey everybody, it's C9X, your favorite femboy. We are back again on Snowbreak Containment Zone, and today we'll be finishing up the 5.7 events, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think we have time for anything else. However, before we start, I see that there's a dialogue story over here. I don't know which one is it. Which one of these? It's you, Chenxing. We haven't met you in the story yet. Well, let's see what the event is for today. And as always, hope you enjoy the stream. Grab a snack, grab a drink. Ideally water. Check your posture, and yeah, let's get started. Also, if you're watching on Twitch, if you watch for up to an hour, you can get rewards for the game. If you're on YouTube, then you don't get rewards, but thank you for watching. And why is the bitrate gone on YouTube? Hold on. Mine is just being dumb. Okay, let's start. This isn't right at all. Strange. What's wrong? Ah, it's you, my prince. My prince, this morning I organized the books in the base and discovered some serious errors in these volumes. What errors did you find? For instance, this book from Eurus mentioned biting the bullet. Means deciding to do something difficult or unpleasant that you've been hesitating over. Yet Eurus translators rendered it as bite bullets before a fight for good luck. That interpretation oddly fits the Eurus' style. In any case, I won't let this false information remain in the books. I'll find time to correct each of them and add annotations. That sounds like a lot to handle on your own, Chenxing. Let me help. My prince, it's so considerate of you. Let's begin with this volume then. Sure. Bye-bye. Anyway, let's get to the main event. I did do a little bit of off-screen stuff, but not much. So, depending on how things go, you may see more things or less things than you should be. Let's look at the main story first. There's a lot of new stuff around that we haven't done yet, and we'll look into those. But here's progress 5 pieces. Piece it together. A vital clue emerges. Later, with a temporary access code issued by the Acropolis's top brass, we unlocked the door to the lab deep within the contaminated section and stepped inside. This must be the place where the Acropolis keeps its curios. Great audio does work. ... The sudden mechanical voice made both Vidya and me pause in awkward silence. I don't think it called us Oni-chan before. As silly as it was, the back and forth managed to lift our spirits. We'd fought hard to get here, and finally, the last stretch went surprisingly smoothly. That is a bit of a mouthful. This should be like surprisingly smooth or something. It only took us a few minutes to locate the designated storage site for item YX111, the Observer's Blade. Once again, we used the temporary access code to unlock the curio containment case. Inside, just as in the photos, the blade was wrapped in a piece of cloth. That grey fabric, it looked familiar somehow. I couldn't quite place it, but I was sure I'd seen a cloth just like it before. The thought lingered at the back of my mind as I reached toward the blade. Given its exposure to tree-borne contamination, I was the only one who could safely handle it. Grasping the hook through the cloth, I gently lifted the blade. Then, peeling back the upper fold of fabric to reveal the blade beneath. A chorus of gasps broke out beside me. It appears the effects of the observer's blade is that it cannot be seen by the naked eye. That's why it's wrapped in a cloth to have it be seen. So this is the curious anomalous property. I could feel it. The hilt was solid in my grip. But as I reached out with my other hand to touch the blade itself, there was nothing there, just empty air. So it's the grip that can be touched, but the blade, you know, not so. That's when Ophidia, staring at the fabric-wrapped hilt in my hand, suddenly froze, and then her eyes lit up. I guess it's in a quantum sense up. It's in like a quantum state. A quantum state is when an object can be both in its positive and negative state. So imagine positive or negative for its existence. It is both existing and not existing at the same time. So some inorganics can interact with it. So you know the cloth, but organically, only the cloth. Well, I guess we still have the cloth in our grip with the hilt, so we can still hold it because it's inorganic, but if anything organic tries to touch it, it doesn't work. At least that's what I believe is happening. Wait, that? It disappears the moment it's observed, so that's why it has to be kept wrapped. I put the cloth carefully back over the blade, and there it was again, solid, unmistakable, right beneath my fingertips. So I guess it's not that it's organic or inorganic. It makes sense, you know. We have to break line of sight so that it's existing. Exactly. The secret behind this blade is why we ran into so much resistance getting here. Now that we confirmed the blade's true nature, a lot of pieces began falling into place. But that didn't mean the case was closed. Identifying the method and the culprit was only half the battle. Proving it, unearthing motive, exposing what lay beneath the surface, that was a different challenge entirely. What? Suddenly, from the corner of the lab, the detective bot let out a shrill alarm. Instinctively, I secured the observer's blade inside the containment case, everyone closed in protectively around Lizzie, staying alert. But after a few tense seconds, nothing. I turned and saw Detective Bot wiggling pitifully on the floor like a stranded beetle, unable to get back up no matter how hard I tried. So that's why it's giving out a warning. Dot. I walked over and helped it up. You alright? You really wanted to thank me, maybe toned out that syrupy tone a notch. But I kept that comment to myself. Looking around, I noticed the floor was a mess. Scattered tools, stacked crates, stray wires, no wonder the robot had tripped. Doesn't the robot, like, float? As I straightened up, I caught Vidya staring at me, cheeks cupped, eyes wide, completely entranced. Vidya, what's wrong? If you can't get up, then sure. Of course I would. Her cheeks flushed an even deeper shade of red. That. I couldn't even begin to imagine what kind of pose she had in mind. Demo Vidya, Kimi you're not exactly the clumsy type to trip that easily, are you? You're instantly deflated, crashing down like a popped balloon. Couldn't see what wild movie was playing in her head, but I had a feeling it defied both logic and gravity. You looked so delighted by the idea that I decided to play along, even if I still had no idea what kind of scene she was imagining. No need to wait for the next movie. If you're really set on that idea, feel free to improvise whenever the mood strikes. Please don't. Lydia practically sprang to her feet, but a moment later, she froze with a soft gasp. Her demeanor shifted in a flash. She crouched low, tapped her knuckles against the floor, and a faint hollow thump echoed back. I froze for a moment in thought, then helped Lydia clean up the scattered items on the floor. And sure enough, beneath the mess was a sealed mechanical hatch. The bomb site. He reached out and gave the handle a cautious tug. It opened easily, revealing a dark passageway leading down below. I think the reason why it was hard to get access to the Observer's Blade wasn't because of the Observer's Blade itself, but it was this hatch. And, you know, since they were kept at the same place, they can just give us the same reason. I'm going with you. Lydia, Etcha, Lizzie, I'll leave things here in your hands. Setting up perimeter. My perimeter is me. No one's gonna get that reference. Who asked? I guess Frida is like signed to this like the detective bond, so you know she's doing this. Exclamation marks. Emotional damage. In the end, we ignored Detective Watt's protests and let it take point as we descended into the underground tunnel. Mario go down the hole. Isn't this like the same visual used in the Abyssal Dawn chapter? The deeper we went, the heavier and wetter the air became. Eventually, the tunnel opened into another lab. Or maybe just abandoned for a while. I dragged a finger across one of the nearby benches. It came away caked in grime. A quick scan revealed the room had been stripped down. Most of the equipment was missing. Vijay and I scoured the space. We managed to unearth a few scattered files, mostly raw experimental data, cryptic on their own and missing key context. Some of the papers were even moldy after use of neglect. The damp air here clearly made it an unsuitable environment for preserving documents. After its half-hearted sweep, the mop began spinning in slow circles around the stacks of papers, scattering sheets everywhere with each clunky rotation. Lydia was just about to stop its antics when she suddenly paused. Eyes locking onto something, she darted over and picked up a torn file that had fluttered further afield. Probably not. Expecting more of the cryptic equations, I leaned in, but the moment I read the title, my breath caught in my throat. ... Project Deterrence Initiation Report. In 2062, redacted. Following approval by the board, the Leviathan Charybdis, originally part of the Acropolis's Project Preservation, will be repurposed for Project Deterrence. Redacted will incorporate the new decompiled technology into the Leviathan, enabling it to consume the tree in Velocia if the trial succeeds. The unit will extract its energy and proceed to consume Redacted in other regions. Redacted. Decompilation requires a high-capacity computational system resistant to cyber intrusion. Upon full implementation of the technology, efforts must be made to secure the shown system or build a viable alternative. The substitute system will be developed under the leadership of Redacted and their research team. To prevent any form of digital breach, the Leviathan will be stored within Redacted, maintained in a state of complete physical network isolation. For final decisions, this program will redacted. More redacted. ... The report was riddled with incomplete text, some of it manually scratched out or rendered illegible by damage. Decompilation technology. What did it say? I accidentally pressed a... Nope, not that. Still, what remained was enough to send a cold ripple through my thoughts. That term looked familiar. No, not just familiar, I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Stacks of documents filled with dense, tangled formulas, all focused on a classified prototype. The equation seems tied to something called decompilation. So it's related to Malin somehow. I'd seen that term before back in the Titan Sciences lab, in Detective Bot's scan report. And then another threat surfaced. Hold on. The same project you mentioned earlier, the Velocian Horse. Can you tell me more about it? Decompilation requires a high-capacity computational system resistant to cyber intrusion. Upon full implementation of the technology, efforts must be made to secure the Sharon system or build a viable alternative. ... Suddenly, everything locked into place. The puzzle we'd been trying to figure out finally snapped into focus. Mystia had been killed because of this system. At least she'd survived because of it. Bitch's soft voice pulled me out of my thoughts. Our eyes met, and I could see it. The same realization flickering in hers, obviously. She connected the dots too. Let's keep looking. There may still be more waiting to be found. Vidya and I gave the lab one last sweep, but this time, we didn't turn up anything useful. Not that I was surprised. I ran my fingers over the edge of the oddly dry document, then glanced toward Detective Bot as it puttered around nearby. Giving Vidya a light tap on the shoulder, I murmured, "Let's head back up. We need to share what we found." The moment we climbed out of the tunnel, Etchel came bounding over and threw herself into my arms. Guess she missed us. I shook my head and handed her the redacted file. Looks like luck favored us. We found this. It might actually be an important lead. How much do you think this is legit, Frida? What do you mean? Wait, remember those research notes we found at the Titan Sciences Lab, the formulas? They were related to decompilation. Can you make any sense of them now? It's possible they're trying to turn the Titan of the tree into something more tangible that they can work with. Yeah, seems like it. If it's a bioweapon, then it could be related to the Changed. The word struck a chord. A ripple of unease spread through my mind. ... I'm fine. A creeping suspicion had begun to take shape. I thrust it back, drew a steady breath, and shifted my gaze to Lizzie, who had been frozen in place, staring at the file. Maybe she'd already put the pieces together and figured out her advisor's secret. Lizzie? Daijoubu desu ka? I tried to sound composed, but the tremble in her voice gave her away. A crack in the calm, just shy of tears. Habune. He trailed off suddenly and paused. He lifted her hands, cupping them gently. as if holding a flower pot. No. You can't let you hand over the Velocian horse. It's too dangerous. And if I recall, you said you never managed to finish that back door. I remember, I read it too. That's exactly why we need to be the ones to take it from here. Because letting someone else pull the strings? That's never been my style. Ashta. We give them both. We give them, and it's the show they've been waiting for. After reassuring Lizzie, I took a breath, gathered my thoughts, now sharp and certain, and opened the comms channel. The line had barely rung once before someone picked up. Whoop whoop. Looks like you said Bunsakin. Yes, Katya, you're near Falacia, right? Right now, correct? You've been MIA, apparently. Okay. I guess we were MIA on on the papers, so that we're harder to find. Let's just say things got rather exciting on my end. Long story short, I need both of you, now. Tomorrow at 9, we'll be at a public trial in the Hall of Truth, Frontline Town. Let's meet up before then. After a few quick safety reminders, I ended the call. Yeah, tomorrow's the final showdown. After that, the whole truth will finally come to light. 6 p.m., rather worn out, we finally left the contaminated section and arrived at the hotel arranged by Acropolis. We've been on the move all day, and the exhaustion showed on everyone's faces. We went so adorably, no one could have turned her down. I patted her head and looked at the others. We haven't had a proper meal all day, so let's grab something together, yeah? I couldn't see her face, but her voice rang clear and determined. But when I turned to Vidya, her response caught me off guard. He'd seemed distant ever since we left the lab, and I couldn't help but worry. And before I could say anything, she was already rounding the corner. After dinner with Etchel, Frida, and Lizzie, it was close to 7 p.m. I walked Etchel back to her room, then turned to say goodnight to Frida, but paused. Frida. I looked at her for a moment, deep in thought. Swing by my room later tonight, will you? Hold on, someone commented, hold on. Apparently, my friend tried to comment on my stream. I don't know if it's YouTube stream or Twitch stream, but you know, his computer blue screen because he was also working on something else. Anyway. Her cheeks flushed as she spoke, and she gave a little skip, like an excited bunny, and darted off. I stood there for a while, blinking. She probably got the wrong idea, but then again, it didn't really need clearing up. He probably thought it was something sussy. After seeing Professor Pretty off, I went straight to Vidya's room without wasting a second. She'd been unusually quiet all evening, and I couldn't just let it slide. I have no idea what she's playing. Also, this door is slightly open. I assume this is her room. Like she forgot to close the door, or like we are like listening in at the door or something. I raised my hand to knock, but froze as I caught her voice through the door, pacing, rambling. Her nerves practically vibrating through the wall. Just as I thought, she seemed like she was stressing out about the case. With the day's investigation complete, we'd collected every critical piece of evidence. What was left was just a matter of connecting the dots. She'd been lost in thought the entire trip back from the contaminated section. Alright, that's getting a bit dramatic. I shook my head with a wry smile, and then came a shriek from inside the room. I didn't think. I didn't knock. Instinct kicked in, and I slammed the door open. But the moment the door flew wide, the words caught in my throat. Yep, she did the thing where she was gonna do, and this was like the unblurred image earlier. What I saw inside was an incredible sight to behold. I honestly had no idea how to begin describing the psychological shock. So this was the scene she was imagining. Flat on her back, sprawled in a wholly unguarded pose that left little to the imagination, they just stared up at me in astonishment, eyes wide and misty, cheeks flaming red. So this is the incredible fall you were talking about earlier. Why does her room look the same as mine? I mean, it could be like every room's the same or something. Stammering, she scrambled to her feet, cupping her burning hot cheeks, completely lost for her next move. Watching her flustered appearance, the truth dawned on me. But yeah, that fall just now, are you... She dropped her gaze, nervously poking at her chest with one finger. How's she poking at her chest? Like, wow, what? Huh? Is she doing like the thing where she's like pointing the two fingers together or some shit? Like, is that how it's actually described? Her voice was barely more than a whisper, but her eyes flicked to mine, searching for a reaction. A very impressive performance. I honestly had no idea if that was the right thing to say. But I lit her up like a star. She beamed, cheeks still burning, hands pressed to her face. Just maybe don't put yourself through quite so much next time, okay? Fudan kara ne. She cleared her throat and straightened up, putting on an air of mock dignity. Seeing her still in mood to exchange banter with me put my mind at ease. Speaking of banner, I just listened to like half an hour of operator banners from Siege, and man, I love the writing. Well, as long as you're alright. You think? I just remembered, I don't think I turned off noise suppression from recording today, hold on. My audio is probably ass because I forgot to turn it off. There we go, I turned noise suppression off on OBS, but I still have the NVIDIA broadcast one, so my voice should sound better. I I'm so sorry, I completely forgot to turn it off. He frowned, looking genuinely conflicted. That's not really the point, Vidya. I let out a quiet sigh and gave her a wry smile. I hadn't been trying to make her feel guilty. Hey, don't overthink it. I just thought today's investigation might have pushed you a little hard. Honestly, I'd rather you just tell me what's on your mind. Ask for help when you need it, instead of trying to carry it all by yourself. For some reason, she suddenly froze. どうしたの?
ダメかもしれません。急にあんなかっこいいセリフを言われたら変なアイディアで頭が渋滞しちゃいません。でも分析員さん、大丈夫ですから。確かに事件のことで悩んでますが、大した悩みではありません。徹夜して考え直せばすんなり解決すると思います。
That's it. Spill it. What's bothering you? She quickly sat me down and laid out everything she'd pieced together so far. She'd already built a solid theory about who the culprit was and how the murder was carried out. All she lacked was the final, decisive piece of evidence. Just earlier, the necropolis had confirmed the autopsy's results. The victim had died from massive internal bleeding caused by organ trauma. Internal trauma. Makes sense. It could also be the phase bullets, but you know, if they think Observer's Blade is closer match, it also makes sense. Let's say I have the Observer's Blade in my hand and I pushed it towards someone's abdomen. It wouldn't render in like it wouldn't load in like the damaging part until it breaks out of sight, correct? And it only breaks out of sight when it's inside the body. So that's why the wounds don't show up on the outside of the body, but on the inside of the body. Yeah, we still don't know how the scalpel links to everything. You're already close to the truth, Vidya. Really close. All it takes is spotting one slip up, a single weak point, and from there... That's another truth entirely. Yeah, and it's even more dangerous. I could see the questions in her eyes. Without certain details about Edda, she couldn't assemble the full picture. Vidya, there are things I can't share right now. Is that alright? I wanted to tell her everything, I really did. But for the plan to hold, she had to stay genuinely unaware, at least for now. She didn't hesitate. A warm smile answered me. One hand rested over her heart, as if she were taking a vow. Her violet eyes shone with quiet, unwavering loyalty. We held each other's gaze until she looked away, cupping her flushing cheeks. Wintry? No. Heart-melting and reassuring. Smiling, I reached out and gently cupped her cheek. Her heartbeat suddenly flooded under my fingertips, and mine kept pace. Her breathy whisper brushed against my senses like a caress, making my breast quicken. Then I drew my terminal. My voice immediately shifted to confusion, tinged with a hint of disappointment. Just need to send a quick message. I fired off a message to Frida and set the terminal aside. Kids, look away. Sorry, children. At 10 p.m., I welcome Fiddy into my room.
じ
Dot.
分析員からいい匂いがする。
Probably because I just had a bath with video, and it wasn't exactly a quick one. Oh my god.
なるほど。
She paused, a faint blush rising to her cheeks. Then, with sudden boldness, she lifted her chin.
私を夜にこっそり来させた意味分かってるからね。
Yeah, it's to discuss about the case.
嬉しいの。やっと私の良さに気づいたんだね。
Oh my god.
柔らかくていい匂いがする私を抱きしめて寝たらどんなに気持ちいいか気になってきたんでしょ。
Dot.
もしかして外れた？
I didn't hesitate. I pulled her straight into my arms. You know that. Oh my god.
まったく今度は素直に言うんだよ。私と一緒に寝たいって別に恥ずかしいことじゃないから。
I think I said this like 3 streams ago. This guy needs to be punished. He has to be stopped. Ah, Sonotori. I nodded in agreement. My eyes. Ow. Something's in my eyelash. In my eyes. Probably my eyelashes. Hold on. Just seeing her beam like that was enough to lift the weight that had been dragging at my chest all day, like sunlight breaking through a storm cloud. But before we get to any of that, I need your help with something important, Professor Freya. Took out a small data disk, the one Director T had passed to me via Caroline, just before I left your Grizzle headquarters.
これは小型スピンドルシステムのドライブ？
You recognized it at a glance. Impressive. I locked eyes with her, my face solemn. This was my ace in the hole, the piece I'd been holding back for the final play. Back during the Karen Sea-based incident, I managed to secure a vial of confinement serum, a specialized virus designed to neutralize rogue programs. But I wasn't sure it'd still be effective against its latest iteration. And considering it was already aware of the serum's existence, there was a good chance it had built-in countermeasures by now. That's why I needed something stronger, a weapon only Professor Freya could help me build. Things are getting interesting. Showdown. Final showdown. One truth remains. June 17th, 9 a.m. Hall of Truth. The public trial was about to begin.
それじゃあ分析員先に行ってくるね。
Go get him.
分析員に素晴らしいマジックショーを見せるから。
Who do you think you are, Lynette? Kiotsukire. Mara. Noticing a distinct gaze looking our way, I waved goodbye to Lizzie with a smile.
分かってるよ分析員お兄ちゃん。たまにこうして分析員を呼んでみるのもいいかもね。
Not long after Lizzie left, attendees for the trial began filling in and taking their seats. When the crowd finally hushed... Well, they didn't get hushed until this happened. The gavel echoed from the bench.
裁判員の皆さんの捜査の結果、当事件には新しい進展がありました。裁判員の皆さん、本日の審理を。
I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I glanced at the three beside me. She just seemed to be observing something intently. Catching my eye, she lifted a small fist and gave me a quick wave, her way of saying she was ready. It sure looked like she was dying to grab the teacup on the table, but didn't quite dare. Once she felt my gaze, she yanked her hand back, tucked it behind her, and flashed an innocent grin.
分析僕おとなしくするから。
Bridget pushed up her glasses, scanned her notes one last time, then met my gaze, her eyes composed and sharp.
分析員さん準備できましたよ。
Good. Let's do this. And so the trial began, a reopened case headed toward its final reckoning.
ではもう一度事件の経緯を説明します。報告書をご覧ください。
At 7:13 a.m. on June 16th, Tia, head of the Quantum Sciences Lab, was found dead at her workstation approximately 5 meters from the lab's main entrance. Cause of death, massive internal bleeding from severe organ trauma. Estimated time of death, 6:12 p.m. on June 15th. When the scene was discovered, the lab door was locked by its security system. Security staff was forced to breach it, revealing what appeared to be a classic locked room murder. Miss Lizzie was also found unconscious at the scene. However, her airtight alibi has since been verified, and she has been ruled out as a suspect.
以上、今回の事件の説明です。では、本館に今回の容疑者を教えてください。
I assume it's Malin. I assume it's Malin, I don't know.
数々の調査を経て、皆さんは真央さんを疑っているのですか？
なんで疑われたのかわからないわ。昨日の調査では十分に付き合ってあげたでしょ。証拠を見つけたので、そう認識した。
Seems like I picked the right option.
証拠ね。まあいい。そこまで言うなら、あなたたちの顔を立てて証言台に立ってあげようかしら。
Either Maon was the right option, or like all three had like reason to be suspicious to be the main suspect.
では、これより本日の審理を開始します。真央さん、あなたは被害者を殺害した疑いをかけられました。
Of course.
もちろんよ。何度も繰り返すわ。ティアの死は私と無関係よ。それに調査報告書にはっきり書かれてたけど、現場は密室状態だったわよね。私がティアを殺したのなら、どうやって密室から出たのかしら。それから、現場では麻酔ガスが噴射されたから、理事がそこで意識を失ってたのよ。もし私が現場にいたら、理事のような状態で倒れてないとおかしいわ。
If the locked room setup were genuine, Malin would have a solid point, but I knew. It's one of these two options. I don't know which one is it. Assume it's this. I turned to a video. If she wants to keep up the trade, fine, we'll humor her for now. Let's strip away her lies one by one and see how long her bluff holds. No rush. After all, she's not the only one who needs a little more time. Lydia adjusted her glasses, eyes locked onto Malin, who had put on a calm front. My line of thought is that this is caused by the phase or phantom bullets, because it was said that if damage to the door was done, it would like lock. So I'm thinking that since the phantom bullets could penetrate like 3 or 4 centimeters of material before, causing damage, it could be that the damage is caused inside the door, which was around like 10 centimeters thick. So, that's my assumption, but I could be wrong.
そんなこと可能なのですか?
Dot. Seriously, who does the academic Acropolis even let serve as an arbiter these days?
そんな目で本館を見ないでください。アクロポリス学院は科学、学術交流と知恵のぶつかり合いを崇めています。この心理長も古来より学術的弁論に使われてきました。凶悪事件の審理のために使われるなんて、十数年間で初めての試みです。
I guess that makes sense. They haven't had a judge do their work in like a decade.
本館だって初めての経験なんです。
That would explain how Lizzie ended up being carelessly labeled as a suspect in the first place.
状況を未だにつかめないのでしたら、会話に割り込まないでもらってもいいですか？
申し訳ございません。
密室が外から作られたという証拠をこれから皆さんにお送りします。
The evidence Vidya is referring to was uncovered during our investigation of the quantum synthesis lab. The security door's blocking mechanism. The lab security door, nearly 10 centimeters thick, is its primary safeguard. It can be sealed internally via the emergency buttons. Also, if the door is physically damaged, the system automatically triggers a full lockdown. 3 emergency buttons. So it's 3 emergency buttons. There's 3 emergency buttons. Blue for lockdown, green for knockout gas, and red for both. When the victim was found, her finger was resting on the red button. Either that was the wrong option, or it wants us to like read through the potential evidence. This should be the key evidence proving the locked room was staged from the outside.
ご覧の通り、密室を作ることができるのは中の安全ボタンだけではありません。あらかじめ被害者の指をボタンに置いて自分で麻酔ボタンを押し、麻酔ガスが噴出される前に部屋から出れば、被害者が内部から麻酔と施錠を行ったように見せることが可能です。
Yeah, you can definitely take a breath and then like press the button and then go out to 5 meters.
そして部屋から出た後、外からドアを破壊することで、ドアは自動でロックがかかり、密室も完成します。
そういうやり方があるのは本館でもわかります。ですが。
It's also possible that it's not the observer's blade. It could also be the no. I'm sorry. It's around. It's not just possible with the phantom bullet or the phase bullets. It's also possible with the observer's knife. But you know, it's harder to do with the observer's knife. There's a bug in my face. Hold on, I'll be right back. I just killed the bug. I returned.
そうですよね。そんなに睨まないでください。無関係のことを話すつもりはありません。ドリスさんは警備を呼んでドアを破壊する前にドアの写真を撮りました。その写真に写ったドアには傷一つありませんでした。
It's the interior of the door that's not intact, I assume.
ですが、安全ボタンなしでドアをロックしたければ、物理的にドアを壊さないといけません。
ドアに傷をつけずに破壊するのは不可能ではないのです。
I was right.
なんですって？
当時、タイタン物質開発研究室にあった特別なものを使えば可能です。
Uploading the exhibit now. I have to choose the right piece of evidence.
この資料で外からドアをロックする方法がお分かりになったでしょう。 タイタン物質の三形態変換という特性を利用して開発された貫通弾丸は、情報体になって厚みが30ミリの防御装甲を貫通することができます。そして研究室のドアの厚さは10センチです。つまり貫通弾丸をドアに撃つと、弾丸はドアの中の30ミリまで入り込んでから実体を取り戻し、中からドアにダメージを与えます。これでドアの表面を傷つけずにドアロックを発動できますね。それから真央さんの研究室にあった拳銃にはサイレンサーがついていました。廊下から発砲しても他の研究室にいる人たちに不審がられません。
I didn't even notice it has a suppressor. Then again, I don't know if it was ever mentioned or shown. Under Vidya's piercing gaze, Mom didn't even flinch. Instead, a faint smile tugged at the corner of her lips.
その憶測だけで私を疑ってるのね。まあ、面白い発想だったわ。事実からは程遠いけど、今の発言、大きく矛盾してるのよ。
My voice rose gradually, but then I cut in. The glaring flaw you're banking on, I'm guessing it's this. Not this, you know.
気づいてるじゃない。無駄話もいいところだわ。
What he's trying to say is that they have a track of the bullets, so none of them can be used. However, there is something that can duplicate bullets, and that is, you know.
何の話ですか？何か聞き逃したわけじゃないのに、一気にわからなくなりましたが、学生時代の苦しい記憶が、ちょっとぼーっとしたら黒板に文字がびっしり書かれてしまうあの時のことを。貫通弾丸は量産できないから、一発使うとしっかりと一発分の在庫が減るわ。なのに今この時点で弾丸の数は15発のまま。本当に貫通弾丸でドアを破壊していたのなら、そこから一発減っていないとおかしいわよね。余分な一発がどこから来たのか、あなたたちに説明できるのかしら。
答えはあなたもよく知っていますよね。
Leah pushes up her glasses, her face unreadable, but her gaze cut through Malon like a blade. Seeing Vidya pressing her advantage, I opened the digital evidence folder with a smile. I'll now upload evidence identifying the source of that mysterious bullet. I will present. I don't know why this is here. Replication box. Item YX003, the replication box. Here's the dossier. Place an object inside, close the lid, wait 10 seconds, and the item will be duplicated. After each use, the box requires a 6-hour cooldown. Duplicates carry anomalous properties and typically disintegrate after 6 hours. Note, metamorph curios themselves cannot be copied, but certain derivative research items can.
なるほど。そのマーベルズを使えば貫通弾丸を複製できるのですね。それってつまり。
Every eye in the room snapped to Malon. She let out a low, derisive laugh.
滑稽ね。本館がですか？部外者は黙ってなさい。
Oof.
はい。ですが、はい。タブ犬に来た時にちゃんと説明したはずよ。確かに弾丸を複製したけれど、実験で全て使い切ったの。実験の様子を収めた録画もあなたたちに見せたわよね。それを疑ってるのなら、証人を呼んでもいいけど。
I don't doubt the footage. I believe the bullets you replicated today were indeed all used up. But
問題はそこじゃありません。
the key is... Like, these two are the same, so...
事件翌日の複製実験はそもそも何かを隠そうとしていないので、もちろん何の問題も見当たりません。ですが、事件当日の実験はどうですか？
意味がわからないわ。
事件当日の実験を私たちに見せていませんよ。
実験は毎回映像が残るわけじゃないわ。
That's why they should be.
あと当日の実験は事件と何の関係があるというの？デタラメばっかね。あなたたちも
複製の箱の研究報告書を読んだでしょですか？複製されたものは通常6時間で消えます。事件当日の複製実験は午前9時から10時の間に行われました。つまり当日に複製された弾丸は事件が起きる前に消えるはずだと言いたいんですね。
あら、違うかしら。
報告書では通常6時間と書かれていました。では通常じゃない場合はどうなるのでしょうか？
通常じゃない。
Mon's face tensed up, like she'd swallowed a bitter pill. Vidya had clearly struck a nerve. I knew exactly how Mon had managed to pull off this special case. This is the explanation. She sewed the bullet in a metamorph curio containment case.
マーベルズ用の金庫に入れると何時間持ちますか？マオさん、答えていただきましょうか。あなたならこういった保管実験を行ったことがあるはずです。
やったとしても些細な実験だからとっくに忘れたわ。
How convenient.
残ってないったらないわよ。どうしても私を疑いたいならその方法を使ったと証明できる証拠でも見せなさい。それにそもそも私よりネオンを疑うべきじゃないかしら。
Oh?
現場を密室に見せるための方法はネオンにしかできないわ。見ればわかるでしょ。このタイミングで新しい容疑者ですか？予想をはるかに超えた展開です。そのネオンさんにもできるのですか？もちろん変異生物を操ればいい話よ。
Why is she still smiling? I mean, it makes sense as well. Item YX007, command megaphone. You're suggesting she used that to pull it off, aren't you?
ええ。そのラッパで小型生物を操れば通気口とかそういう隙間から研究室に入れるわ。ティアを殺した後、外から小型生物にロックボタンを押させたら密室の出来上がり。
I think that was just too simple.
事件当日、生命科学研究室で事故が起きたのもこれが原因かもしれないわね。ラッパの変異を無駄にしないためにわざと事故を起こしたに決まってる。
Vidya adjusted her glasses, a faint cool smile tugging at her rosy lips.
面白い発想ですね。さっき言われたこの言葉、そっくりそのままお返しします。ですが、それはありえません。
なんでよ。
理由はあなたの研究報告書に書かれていますよ。
Vidya glanced at me once again. We'd already rolled out this angle back in the life sciences lab. I don't remember this one. Forgive me, it's been like 1 or 2 weeks.
もしかしてあのラッパを使って。
I get through, Vidya. The megaphone couldn't have done it because... Oh, this one I don't remember. It's either this or this. Let's try this. There's always the chance Neon staged the accident to free up a few extra minutes of the megaphone's effective time for the crime, but... Oh, it's the range, okay. I've uploaded the command megaphone's dossier for everyone to review. Take a good look, the answer's right here.
本館にはさっぱりです。なんでですか？
では、説明しましょう。問題は距離にあります。ラッパの使用可能距離は2メートル。ですが、遺体と安全ボタンは、ドアから5メートル離れた場所にあります。
I mean... You could tell the organisms to, like, pressed the buttons after she left the room.
真央さん、他に何か奇弁はありますか？
奇弁ですってそんなこと言っても結局何も証拠がないじゃない。
Guess we need the motive. The motive is that she has beef.
それに説明できないこともたくさん残ってるわ。凶器は生命剣のメスだったわよね。私が犯人ならどうやってメスを取ってくるというの？
混乱に乗じて取ればいい話ですよ。事件当日の午後、生命科学研究室で事故が起きた時、あなたは事故の様子を見に来ましたよね。
私以外にもたくさんの人がいたわ。その間、研究室の監視カメラは動いていたはずよ。私がメスを取ったかどうかはちゃんと映像を確認すればわかるでしょ。
ええ、もちろん確認しましたよ。人がたくさん入る間は道具入れを確認できませんでしたが、皆さんがいなくなった後、メスが揃ってると監視カメラで確認できました。
ちょっと待ってください。真央さんがメスを取ったと言っているんですよね。
He's just trying to say that the scalpel wasn't a murder weapon, because we know it isn't.
裁判員の皆さん、いよいよ頭がおかしくなったようね。
いいえ、揃っているからこそ、あなた、真央さんにしかメスを取れないと証明できます。こちらを見てもらえば意味がわかると思います。
It's scalpel kit still intact at 8 p.m. on June 15th. As Video Smoke uploaded the exhibit.
確かに6月15日の夜8時時点でメスはまだ揃ってますね。ですが、
I think I get it now.
もしメスが凶器なら当日の6時12分には
What it's pointing at is that the scalpel was brought in around the time when Lizzie was around. Well, when Lizzie was around, but when the body was spotted, I don't know. It's point is it's not the murder weapon.
ちなみにですが、事件翌日に確認するとメスが1本だけ消えていました。そして監視カメラには誰も映ってません。事件当日、監視カメラが正常に作動するようになってから翌日現場が発見されるまで、量子科学研究室の廊下にあるカメラにも誰も映ってませんでした。
Game's lagging.
つまり、そのメスは監視カメラが作動していない15日夜の6時から7時の間に事件現場に移動したことになります。
Oh, let me clear it around. That might be the problem why it's lagging.
「すみません、余計わからなくなりました。
複製の箱で複製したものの特性を覚えてますか？
複製品は6時間後に消える。
Who Malin duplicated the scalpel as well.
なるほど。真央さんは生命科学研究室のメスを複製してその複製品を道具入れに戻したと言いたいのですね。大胆な推測ね。複製の箱でメスを複製するだなんて奇想天外にも程があるわ。仮に本当に箱でメスを複製したら監視カメラに映らないとおかしいわよね。箱の写真を見たでしょ。あんなに大きい箱を持っていると嫌でも目立つわ。
You can take the scalpel out.
それに事件当日、私が生命圏に入ったのはたったの一度だけ。人混みに紛れてメスを取って複製してまた戻しに行ったとしたら回数が合わないわ。そうですよ。真央さんの言う通り、本当に複製の箱で複製を行っていたら現場でこんな行動は無理なはずで。
The murmur from the arbiter spread like a ripple, a wave of doubt beginning to rise among the spectators. And yet, as the noise grew louder, Vidya turned calmly toward me, composed, assured. It's time. Frida, finish her.
はい。分析員さんが教えてくれた。好きで。
A faint smile played on her lips. She adjusted her glasses with practiced grace. When her gaze returned to Mon, the chill behind it struck like a knife. Mon flinched instinctively.
真央さんに一つだけ質問をさせていただければ、真実は明らかになります。
質問？
登録番号 YX003。
He enunciated every syllable with icy precision, and then raised her hand, pointing directly at Mon.
このマーベルズの名前は本当に複製の箱で合ってますか？
何が言いたいの？
登録番号 YX003。 実際に複製能力を持つのは箱の中の
Oh?
布なんじゃないですか？
Now this is something I haven't thought about.
あなた。
For the first time, Mon's veneer of composure began to crack, her eyes flashing, her breath catching.
さあ、知らないわ。
それはどうでしょう。タブ犬の責任者でもあるあなたが知らないなんておっしゃるのですね。
いい加減にしなさい。あんたは私が犯人であることを前提に推理を進めてるだけよ。仮にあんたの言った通り布だけでメスを複製できたとしても何の意味がある？私がティアを殺した証拠になるの？複製品のメスを私以外の誰かが凶器として使った可能性がないと言い切れる？結局何の証拠もないじゃないの。私がティアを殺したと証明できる証拠がね。
Leah stood there, arms folded, her gaze cold and sharp as polished glass.
ありますよ。
じゃあそれを見せなさいよ。現場の地面に私の生物情報があったとでも言うの？凶器に私の指紋がついていたのかしら？はたまた私が犯行を行った瞬間を撮影した写真でもあるの？それくらいの証拠を見せたらどう？
真央さん、右手の傷は治りましたか？
あんたたちの証拠と何の関係が？
もちろんありますよ。あなたの右手は凶器のせいで負傷したんですから。
Mon's breath hitched, but the next second, she yanked up her sleeve with a sharp motion.
右手はただひねっただけよ。凶器で負傷したなら傷跡が残ってないとおかしいじゃない。そうですよ。メスによる傷なら
Ah,
跡が残ります。
she was cut by the observer's blade. The observer's blade, after going under the skin, losing line of sight, it decided to do damage internally.
いくらアクロポリス学院の特別な治療手段を使ったとしても、あとは少なくとも7日間残ります。
Through the
事
bleeding
件発生から3日しか経ってませんよ。
and damage was under the dermis, and so it's, there's no like opening on the skin.
メスが作った傷口なら確かに跡が残りますが、私は最初から最後まで凶器はメスだって言ってませんよ。
どういうことですか？
真央さんなら分かっているでしょう。
The real murder weapon was none other than
登録番号 YX111 観測の刃。あなたはこのマーベルズについて詳しいですか？
いいえ。
そうでしょうね。詳しいはずがありません。
he doesn't know the full properties, and that's why she got cut.
でなければ事件現場であんなミスをしないのでしょう。
ミスですか？
Everyone, take a look at this. I uploaded the compiled files on the Observer's Blade for all to see. After we secured the Observer's Blade, we conducted a series of tests and compiled our detailed report.
あんたたちの研究報告書は何の信憑性が？
Cut herself off mid-sentence because she saw the signature at the bottom of the page. Frida Ignis. a name that carried legendary weight within the Academica Acropolis. Few had ever met her in person, so no one recognized her here now. But her signature on a document? That was authority no one dared question.
どれどれ観測の刃は量子の変異を持っている。ナイフの一部が観測されたとき、該当箇所は物質世界から姿を消す。なるほど。だから跡を残さないんですね。それから観測の刃に付着したものも一時的にその変異を持ちます。どういうことですか？
Oh, she becomes invisible when she's holding it.
つまり、もし観測の刃に血が付着したら、その血も同じように観測された時に消えるということです。
Or not. Wait. Yeah, say blood on the blade. If someone looks at the blood or the blade, then the blood goes away with it.
ナオさんもその特性のせいで計画が狂ったんじゃないですか？観測の刃に付着した血は見えなくなるので、それを使って被害者を殺した後、あなたは慌てて凶器
So there's blood on the observer's blade, I assume.
取り出した時と同じように箱にあった布をかぶせようとしました。しかし、観測の刃に付着した血は布に付着し、それで変異を失ってまた見えるようになった。
Blood on the blade transferred to the cloth. What's its irregularity and became visible again? Is it the blood that became visible or the cloth? I assume it's the
あ
cloth.
なたはここまで明らかな矛盾を現場に残せるはずがありません。そこで、観測の刃に残る血痕を洗った後、あなたは違う布をそれにかぶせました。
Ah.
その布は複製能力のある布から切り取ったものですね。ちょうどメスを複製するために持ち出したそれが手元にありました。ああいう緊急事態ではいい代用品なんてすぐには見つかりません。
Something else with you to top you. We said it, but the scalpel hadn't been put back yet, so you use them. Okay.
それが一つ目のミスです。これのおかげで私は複製の箱から感じていた違和感の正体を突き止めました。観測の刃にかぶせた布と複製の箱に入っていた布を見比べれば、切り取った跡が完璧に一致しているとわかるでしょう。それから二つ目のミス。もっと言えば、あなたがティアさんを殺したと証明する証拠も。
Does she leave fingerprints on the observer's blade?
なぜならそこにはあなたがティアさんの血痕が残っているから。
Because she cut herself as well, so there's blood on the weapon as well, of her own.
目視できる血痕は拭いたり洗ったりできますが、見えない血痕はどうでしょう。
That's right.
綺麗に落とす保証も時間もあなたにはなかった。
Yeah, to dip it in like a cleansing fluid or something for it to be like fully work.
観測の刃をさらに詳しく調べれば。
Mom suddenly let out a long breath, not of panic but almost of relief. She cut Vidya off mid-sentence.
もういい。犯人は私よ。
Let's go, chat. We did it. We found the murderer.
なんでこんなことを、なんで先生を殺したんですか？アクロポリス学院の未来のためよ。アクロポリス学院の未来？ええ。信じられません。そんなデタラメな理由で。信じなくて結構。これは私自身が決めた道よ。あのバカ女が生き残るチャンスはいくらでもあったわ。なのに頑固なせいで最悪の道を選んだのよ。これが結論ですか？裁判員が説明した通り、あなたは被害者を殺してから現場を密室に偽装しましたか？ええ。あれだけのアクシデントが起きなければ、もっと完璧な現場にできたのに。用意したアリバイも役に立たなかったし、濡れ衣を着せる相手も考え直す羽目になったわ。
So right when she was like cleaning up because things took longer than she'd expected, you know, to clean the blood and stuff. Lizzie walked in and she tried to pin the case on her.
アクシデント今となってはどうだっていい話よ。
Or I guess it's Edda or something.
おめでとう裁判員たち。確かに真犯人を見つけて私を黙らせたけど、おかげさまで私たちはようやく欲しいものを手に入れたわ。
A thin triumphant smile crept across her face, crept across her otherwise grim face. That was my cue. Via had played her part to perfection. Now, it was my turn. The substitute for the Karen system, that's the real prize you're after, isn't it? The smug smile snapped in half. For one heartbeat, panic flickered behind her eyes.
あんた、なんで？
Why is the main menu music playing? Is that like the main theme of this game? If we're syncing the timelines, then these should already have been intercepted by our people. Your plan was simple. Steal the system, make the Leviathan, and wipe every loose end off the board, correct?
そこまで知っているなら、あの時。待って、これはあんたたちが用意した罠なのね。
Totally. Sharp of you. No prizes, though. We didn't drag this trial out just to hear your confession. Just like you, we were stalling for time. Time to draw your crew into the open and expose the secrets you've worked so hard to hide.
そうなのね。でも、もう遅いわ。今さら動き出したところで、何も止められない。
Watching Mon cling to her composure, I knew it was time to deliver the final push. I think it just might. Before I could press further, something tugged at my coat hem. Sitting back, I found Fredia looking up at me with expectant eyes.
私十分我慢したでしょ。もう話してもいい？
My guest.
僕も。
Then the floor is yours, girls.
やっと話せた。フリティア先生、芝居が得意じゃないからバレ。でもここから種明かし。今まではテスお姉ちゃんのマジックショーだったんだ。イチェル、私まだ全然話してないのに。だってフリティアもったいぶるから。大事な発言は雰囲気を作ってから話すもんなの。とりあえずそういうことで。
Frida finished the last word and planted her hands on her hips. In that instant, the Fridia and Etchel seated at the notary's table shimmered and began to glitch.
これは
I guess they're like holograms.
ホログラムですって。
Yep.
ありえない、ありえないわ。いつ、どうやって。
科学の力にちょっとしたマジックのテクニックを加えたの。
Her littling voice floated in just as the gates of the Hall of Truth, now silently unleashed, admitted a burst of fresh air and electric energy.
分析こっちも終わったよ。あの人たちが欲しがってたものを渡したから。私が理事と入れ替わってたなんて全然気づかれなかったみたい。
She set the giraffe mask against the wall, meeting my eyes with a fond smile. Once I confirmed she was uninjured, I gave a small nod. You've got to lead her. I'm leaving things in the hall in your hands. The smiling Tess raised the signal jammer in her hand and gave it a casual twirl, then shut the gates behind her with a firm click, locking it tight before stepping into the hall.
ごめんね、みんな。ここはしばらく私が仕切ることになったの。ここにいる全員は外と連絡を取っちゃダメだよ。
With a flick of her wrist, playing cards shot out like streaks of light, slamming into the floor, just inches from the feet of a few would-be escapees.
今のはただの警告。今度こそこそ動いたらどこに刺さるかは保証できないよ。
As my operative just said, please remain where you are and cooperate. When this is over, the accomplice will provide you with a proper explanation, and rest assured, no one will be harmed. We'll bring back the good news. The sound of waves gently rising and falling could be heard in the distance. I gave Tess a subtle nod in reply, then reached for the suitcase at my feet. Inside lay my exosuit, shipped ahead through Cloud Company channels, waiting for this exact moment. Her voice tightened. Through her glasses, she'd already sighted a lone figure fleeing down the far end of the street. She eased closer, pressing her body against my arm. I raised an eyebrow. I felt it too. Something off in the air. Definitely doesn't want us to catch up, but unfortunately for them, this wasn't the only ace I had in the deck. My comm feed is still open, and the Hall of Truth wasn't the only scene playing out across my screen. After swapping outfits with Tess, Lizzie had slipped into the shadows, my covert partner for this parallel op. She'd been watching the trial unfold from afar through a live projection feed. In the adjacent pane was Katya, ever my anchor, perched on the edge of a rooftop, cross-legged and composed. She watched her target like a hawk, poised to strike. Guess we have some combat before Progress 7. That end. I completely forgot how the operatives play. Like, these sphere operatives play. Oh. All right. Is Frida using a shotgun? She's using a shotgun. Okay, I'd rather use Frida. I completely forgot how to use her abilities. I guess she's using like a magazine for a shotgun. It's not a shotgun, it's a sniper. There you go, not hard.
どう？プリティア先生結構頼りになるでしょ？
Oh, and this is the artwork we saw earlier. Neck and neck.
些細な違和感でも徹底的に調べさせてもらいます。そりゃすぐに出なかったんだから、こうなるのは至極当然だよね。ねえ、お疲れ。みんな怪我はない？
Ow. It didn't do as much damage as I expected.
そりゃすぐに出なかったんだから、こうなるのは至極当然だよね。これ自動装填のパーツと機能搭載してないの？いけんな。
There you go. Oh, that was over. I didn't know we need to extract.
イチェルと一緒にそっちに合流するから、分析員とビディアを先に行って、そしたら通信をつなぎ直せるんだ。はい。これから分析員さんと橋の方を。
There we go.
分析員どうだった？私前より進歩してるのかな？
Match. I guess we can bring our own operatives, but you know, we don't have to. I guess we'll just deploy some for trust. Why not?
分析員さんの前ではちゃんとしなきゃ。分析員さん、避難勧告を出してきました。大橋を通っている車は全部避難始めましたよ。
What does their ability do? I forgot. Ah, that. Okay.
次から次へと湧いてくるなんて。
You're dead?
手がかりを洗い出して
Okay, they're dead.
おのずと真相は見えてくるはずです。 邪魔者の排除はお任せください。 ぬるぬるです。受けてみなさい。 こ
There we go. Not hard. It just takes a little bit of time because her fire rate is lower than Frida.
ようやく到着しました。ここからはもっと効率のいい乗り物。
She does have better damage on her ability, I think. At least in close range. I don't know what my ult does, so I'll use it when we're closer. Ow. Here's your ult. There you go. She's kind of like Mona, I think. Mona, but her skill explodes on contact with an enemy. Jesus Christ. Twist. Big twist. The real truth comes to light. Navigation stone, what? Got it. I see the feed. At the edge of the sea bridge, Vidya now had managed to command her vehicle. As we sped across, Vidya's map data came through. The enemy severed the terminal's comms right after uploading the substituted system, trying to stop us from interfering. Our only move now was to reach the Leviathan directly, restore the connection, and give Vidya control again. The surge signal pointed to somewhere under the bridge between the frontline town and the Acropolis, just a few miles ahead. I pressed a finger to my brow, running through it all again. On the surface, it looked like they'd gone ahead of us, but that too was part of the plan. They thought they had successfully launched the Leviathan with a substitute system, but in truth... But yeah, how much longer until we get there? Oh, I forgot to talk. Beat your way through traffic with impossible precision. Alarms screamed across the bridge as evacuation protocols kicked in. But we were driving against the flow of traffic straight into the heart of danger. We were already on the bridge, but the Leviathan was still a good distance ahead, and the road between us and it was chaos. 10 minutes, we should be able to make it. Ideally, the Leviathan could be shut down by protocol, but if things went south, Vidya and I would fail safe. I left Kanya and Etchel behind to safeguard Vidya and Lizzie, in case someone made a desperate play. My eyes flicked to the rear view mirror. Detective Bond sat quietly in the back seat, running through the encrypted coordinates Vidya had uploaded, still crunching numbers. But my focus wasn't on the data, it was on the bot itself. With the news tightening and time running out, I could feel it. The final reckoning was here. So I broke the silence. Looks like we're in the clear. You can talk now. So, can you tell me what Edda had in store for us? As soon as I spoke, Lydia's hands tightened on the wheel. She kept her grip steady, but her eyes flicked to the rearview mirror, warily eyeing Detective Bot in the back. Time stretched. Half a minute, maybe more. Oh, I think you do. After all, you've been pulling the strings from the start, haven't you? Fine, deny it all you like. I've got more than enough to go on. If things had gone as planned, I'd have left no cracks behind. But complications arose, my alibi fell apart, and I had to improvise, find a scapegoat on the spot. During the hearing, Mon made this interesting statement. You remember, don't you? He may have been the killer, but she never realized the complications that ruined her airtight plan were part of a larger design. And I knew exactly how those complications came about. Detective Bot was the spy, was among us. Mon's video recorded on June 13th. The video Mon recorded on June 13th was timestamped between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Her original plan was simple: carry out the murder between 6:30 and 7, using the surveillance blackout, then use the pre-recorded footage as her alibi. But then a complication happened, forcing her to abandon that plan entirely. Piece together a few key facts, and the cause of that complication becomes obvious. I don't know which one it is. Assuming it's these two are probably related. Mom learned about the Blade's properties only after it caused her trouble, proof that she didn't know much about it. So it's not that. 1, 2, 3. Her right hand was wounded by the Observer's blade. So it's not that. So the real answer is access conditions of the Metamorph Curie containment case. Only the supervisors could access the case at will. Others are limited to specific time windows. Just before 6:12 p.m. on June 15th, Tia met with Malon. She had retrieved the Observer's blade from the Curie case and used it to launch a surprise attack. And during that attack, Tia was killed by the Observer's blade at 6:12 p.m. Mon had no prepared alibi for that time slot, but a murder had already occurred. All she could do then was pivot to Plan B, frame Neon. She began staging the scene, but then another complication threw everything off course, which was Lizzie. According to the victim's schedule, she was meant to meet Lizzie at 7 p.m. Mon thought she had enough time to stage the perfect crime scene before then. But the Zoe forest withered. It warned Lizzie that something was wrong, so she arrived early. And just like that, an unexpected variable walked in, and upended Mon's entire plan. She had the chance to silence Lizzie right there and then, but she hesitated. There was one reason she couldn't kill her, which was the substitute system. With the victim dead, Lizzie was the only one left who could lead them to the chairman's substitute system. If she died too, everything Mon had done would be for nothing. So she changed track. Actually, I think it's changed track, but not tack. I don't know. Instead of killing Lizzie, she knocked her unconscious and staged the scene to frame her. As long as Lizzie was branded the prime suspect and taken into custody, they'd have time and leverage to pry the information from her. But that plan too fell apart the moment I stepped in. So tell me, did I get anything wrong? I paused, then turned squarely toward Detective Bot's screen. Miss Tia? A sharp crackle of static filled the air. Then it faded. In its place came a gentle voice. So Tia is the Detective Bot. Yesterday afternoon in the contaminated section, you overplayed your hand. We just so happened to trip and led us straight to that hidden lab. And inside we just so happened to find the exact file we needed. A document detailing the Academic Acropolis Project deterrence, but around the Leviathan. Without that file, connecting the dots would have been far more difficult. No, it was the file itself that gave you away. That underground lab was soaked with moisture, walls damp, air humid, but the file was dry and crisp. So this is one thing about preservation of documentation. In real life, we have to keep file storage systems dry, and we sometimes even use nitrogen instead of oxygen because of oxidation. You need a dry room and nitrogen so that whatever you're keeping doesn't oxidize and degrade or have mold, stuff like that. And the document, which is dry, is a contrast to show that it's recent, it's new. It doesn't belong in its environment, which is damp and wet and moist.
このロボットにはそういうセンサーがないから全く気づかなかった。
Once I realized there was a guiding hand behind it all, looking back, the rest just neatly fell into place. Take the clues we found at Titan Sciences. Research materials from this Titan Sciences lab. Stacks of documents full of dense, tangled formulas, all focused on a classified prototype. The equations seem tied to something called decompilation. At the time, those pages were nothing but numbers and equations, no annotations, no context, and yet Detective Bot flagged them as related to decompilation, a supposedly classified research. And then, that same term just happens to resurface in the files you... But as later, too convenient, isn't it? Because it was a breadcrumb, meant to steer me toward the truth on your terms. And let's not forget the accidents. Too precise, too timely. Each one circling the same point of gravity, the victim. It's hard not to wonder if she had something to do with all this. Which raised a real question. Was she ever truly dead? Or had she simply stepped into the dark to watch, to guide, to manipulate? But think about that, one can quickly discover another mistake you made. Is the bot? Developed by the Quantum Sciences Lab, this unit was designed for brain-machine interface control, allowing the user to operate it through neural signals. Linked to a dedicated transmission device, the robot can be directed purely by thought. Swap log, June 15, 5:50 p.m. Note, system was booted, but no record of physical movement detected. Okay, so it's not that. Specialized device in the Quantum Sciences Lab. It's directly linked to the YXS-233 neural control robot. Really confirmed it. The robot could only function with a neural link for this device. The relay was active from 5:50 p.m. and remained so for a long time. Yet the robot never moved an inch. If you wanted to live, you could have used it to protect yourself. Either Maon had attacked you on purpose or in self-defense. You could have stopped her. But you didn't, because you're deaf. It was part of the plan. You made Lizzie the only remaining lead to the Karen's substitute system, and too valuable to eliminate. Only by dying could you vanish from the board, unseen and unsuspected, free to pull strings from the shadows. And so that neurotransmitter was your escape pod. The exit hatched into planned oblivion. That was why you activated it. I didn't think of that possibility because it only said it didn't move, but it didn't state that there is no data transfer. So I guess, I did overlook some things. It wasn't a leap, it was a deduction, drawn from something I've seen before. I understand your incredulity, even staring straight at a neural relay terminal. Most people wouldn't think it could actually preserve a person's mind. Well, I've watched Chappie and I even, didn't realize until, moments ago. Because keeping a digital consciousness stable requires absurd levels of processing power. Here, the transcendence of... Yeah, we haven't seen this. Sure, the transcendence of Liu and Cyril lived on as data after their bodies and minds shut down, but only because Genghis was there to sustain them. The academic Acropolis never had anything even remotely comparable. That was why no one doubted your so-called death. But for it, keeping you alive in digital form was child's play. Yep, Edda was involved. Even went out of its way to send me a little greeting, a taunt on my way to Philosophia. Like I could ever forget it was watching. Tracking our movements, feeding you intel, sending rogue machines to intercept us the moment we got too close. Only Eda could have pulled those off. Which brings me to my next question. You were supposed to be working with T, weren't you? Why switch sides?
もう間に合わないから。あの人たちがカローンを奪い損ねた時点で、私たちの間で保たれていた微妙なバランスが崩れた。それよりもっと前に、私が真実をユグドラシルに伝えようとしていたことが、あの人たちにバレていたし、警告。
Message.
エリア16で理事と会ったでしょ。それも私への警告だった。私が本当にそれを実行したら、理事はエリア16よりも危険な場所に行かされる。エッタが私の元を訪ねたのもその時だった。私たちは取引をした。エッタは代わりに理事を守ってくれて真実を公表し、誰のものにもならないようにギルティクラッシャーを壊してくれる。
What did Eda want from you in return?
私のフィロゾアの木馬計画
Damn.
が必要だったみたい。
Because the Leviathan posed a threat to the tree, and Eda wanted it gone? That was the only reason?
目的は教えられない。
But that's not the truth. Is that so? That response already told me everything I needed to know.
今の私はできる限りのことを全てやった。かっこ悪いけど、これが私の全力だった。アクロポリス学院と真理を守るためのギルティクラッシャーが誰の欲にも利用されないように。人知の光は世界を良くするためにあるべきだ。
Save that speech for Lizzie, if you think she'll ever be ready to hear it.
理事にはチャンスがあれば。
Oh, she's gonna commit sudoku. As she spoke, her image suddenly began to flicker on the screen.
もう時間がないみたい。ユグドラシルの分析員、あなたは私のような罪人には届かない希望そのもの。あなたならできるはず。それをより良くするために。
Her voice faded. The image started on one last time, then vanished, leaving only silence. That died. I stared at the now dark screen and gave a faint shake of my head, then brought my focus back to the larger picture. My conversation with Tia had confirmed every deduction I'd made, and in her final words, lay the truth I had already begun to suspect. Eda's plan was much more than destroying the Leviathan, or seizing control of it. Just then, the screen of my terminal lit up with a sharp alert. Marada, but almost there. I glanced ahead. We'd battled through the worst of the traffic, like fighting upstream, until finally the road opened up. We just floored the accelerator. I'd say acceleration, but you know. Uh-oh, Stenke. Where it struck me like a jolt. If the connection had been established before we arrived, there was only one explanation. Whatever was buried under the sea, it had already powered on. We just scanned the lines of code with incredible speed, then she caught something. Abandoned ship. Her voice cracked, panic bleeding through. But before I could say anything, she cut herself off, then drew a deep steady breath. I let out a quiet laugh, the words of reassurance I'd almost said fading on my tongue. That's my Fridia. Always rising, tracing her own arc of light into something brighter, something greater. Now let's do this, my little sunshine. Just what we planned, yeah? Her gaze held steady, locked onto the screen. Without hesitation, she pulled out a data drive and slammed it into the port. Watching the data stream race across the screen, she murmured softly. At the same time, Lizzie's voice rang out over the radio. Wakatta. I calmly tucked the terminal back in my coat and turned to video. At some point, she'd hit the brakes, and now she was turning her gear with practiced precision. Ready, my leading lady? Her violet eyes rose to meet mine. No fear. No hesitation. Chin high, posture firm. She was all poise and strength, grace held in tension like a white swan moments before flight.
どんな時も私を信じてくださいね。
In the blink of an eye, a massive explosion erupted from below, a blast like a storm tearing upward from the depths. The bridge shattered beneath us. In that same instant, the car, with Vidya and me still inside, was hurled into the air. A jolt of weightlessness surged through me as we shot skyward. Mid-flight, I kicked the car door open, caught the frame, and dove out into the open air, arms wide. Far below, an entire span of the bridge, ablaze and torn apart, was plummeting toward the ocean, nearly 100 meters down.
分析員さん。
My voice cut through the roar just as a strand of violet thread coiled around my wrist, linking me to her amid our freefall. The tether snapped taut, reeling us together mid-air. That's when I tried something I'd never done before. I guided my focus, diving inward, calling up every ounce of my power lying dormant within me. Tension condensed, and from my back, grey wings unfurled like smoke-woven sails. It was my first time shaping this form, raw and untested. The wings buckled under the rushing wind, until the thread of violet spun in, winding through the grace like silk, stretching strength into the frame. It all happened within seconds. I guess we do have like a special ability, but like we've never seen it before because you know we skip the chapters to do the events. Bound by wings of grey and violet, we rode the air, skimming across the open sky toward the sea. My gaze locked on a fractured segment of a bridge still standing above the waves. These wings weren't made for true flight, only just enough to carry us to that raised platform. Miss it, and we plunged straight into the battlefield our enemy meticulously built beneath the sea. But the danger wasn't over. All around us, shards of metal and broken concrete hurled skyward with us, now rained back down like a storm of meteors. Hold on tight. I pulled Vidya close, arms locked firmly around her waist. She leaned in, her body molding to mine like it had always belonged there. In that moment, there was no fear, only the rush. Sharp, electric, exhilarating. We'd stared down danger together before. This was just one more dance. Our hearts beat in unison. Together, we dove faster. Just as the massive debris above came crashing down, hit the platform, a jagged stretch of bridge suspended above the sea. A twist mid-air, impact, knees bent, momentum carried us forward, then a push, and we were back on our feet. Now. Strike. A shadow engulfed the platform, vast and hurling downward. I tore a steel rebar from the concrete, spun, and hurled it upward with all my strength. I struck the center, piercing through the falling slab with a bone.
別れだっていくらも経験してきたし、夢の中でその悲しみ、痛みと絶望を味わってきた。いろんな苦い結末を見るたびに起こっていた。すべてのパターンもしっかり覚えている。その悔しさと怒りはすべて、私が現実で幸せを迎えるためにあるものだから。
Did we see that effect with Nita? I think they just do it for like every character. A sharp clang rang out, one after another. Glinting metal blades snapped loose from her exosuit.
分析員さんを脅かす存在にとって、私こそが一番危ない存在になります。
My eyes. The next moment, a lattice of blinding arcs burst forth from the space before her, slicing through the slab. The shattered debris scattering like shooting stars hurled far into the sea. Vidya. In the pouring curtain of rain, I stepped to her side, my gaze filled with the graceful silhouette of her figure as I said, the words I had long waited to say to her. Now, let's end this. Together. Closing scene. I guess we have a boss fight. Ah, my eyes. So bright. Flying whale, I think. Reviving Cribides, devourer of all. I think it's a whale. Gee, where have I seen a whale boss? Can I nuke you? Well, I absolutely nuked that Nicole, but I nuke you. I can. I think. I can put a debuff on it. But I don't think I can nuke him. Like, it's literally like right on top of the ability. But I can't nuke him. We can damage it by shooting these balls and launching it back at them. At it. I think it actually does damage though. I think it's just to like reduce the damage radius. I'm attacking it, but it doesn't do much damage. We broke the bridge in half. I guess now we have like limited movement. Guess we can do that explosion, but it doesn't trigger his my ult to nuke it. Look, that didn't hit. Oh, that procced somehow. I don't know how that procced, but it did. I guess we did it. I guess there's another progress. I thought there's only progress 7, but I guess not. Capture. Can we pull it off? Can we capture it? Yes, we can. Amid the roaring blaze, the Colossus let out a final echoing wail and vanished beneath the waves. It took the broken span of the bridge with it, sinking into the sea's cold embrace. I let my eyes linger on the spectacular scene a moment longer, then turned away. Frida and I clung to the jagged edge of the shattered bridge, suspended nearly 100 meters above the ocean. Bracing myself, I channeled power through my core, hauled myself up with a grunt, and swung a leg over the ledge. Once steady, I reached down and pulled Vidya up after me. It's finally over. I let myself fall back across the bridge, limbs slack. The concrete beneath me was cold and unyielding, but the body pressed against mine was warm, soft, and faintly sweet. He nuzzled into my chest like a kitten. Her ebony hair spilled across my neck, carrying a scent that stirred my heart. Above, the clouds slowly parted, sunlight pouring down in soft golden threads. That's called ray tracing. In that shifting light, we rose together, Vidya still in my arms. She looked up, a bright smile spreading across her face. Her violet eyes shone behind the lenses, a glow of hope and triumph. In that moment, she stood radiant in the spotlight, the perfect heroine. You did. You're amazing, Vidya. Thank you. I reached up and gently brushed her cheek, then slowly ran my fingers through her hair. A $25 gift coupon. Cheeks cupped in both hands, she wore a quiet little smile, already half lost in the daydream. I couldn't keep a resigned grin from tugging at my mouth, yet suddenly, Vidya froze in my arms, her body snapping taut as a bowstring, as though she'd sensed an approaching storm. Which is other woman. Heard the crackle of jumping static, but then those electric sounds abruptly faded away, replaced instead by a voice of crystalline clarity. Ah, my eyes. Ada has a human form now, okay. Oh, so that was happening. Earlier, they were like talking about like turning the Titanogen from the tree into something biological, like a bioweapon. It's turning, is giving Eda a human form, a biological form. The force was silvery and crisp, and yet everywhere it sent a chill down my spine. Regan and I turned our eyes skyward, following the sound. And then, we saw it. No, we saw her. I'm curious to see what Eda looks like in human form. I mean, we've seen, like, the lower half. Okay. He looks like... He's like Firefly if she was evil, and blue instead of green. Sorry, I forgot. A jagged rent split the storm clouds. Blinding pose of light pouring through the wood in that halo. A slender figure, hovering effortlessly between sky and earth. Rosy lips curled in a playful smirk. Brilliant light danced around her, silver hair rippling and glowing in the heavenly light like threads of spun glass. From brow to toe, her skin, smooth, pale, luminous, almost looked translucent. ... I wonder why Eda chose a more adult form rather than her, like, lolly form.
びっくりして言葉も出ないみたいだね。あらら、完全にハマってたんだ。てへ。
He spoke with a sing-song lilt. Again, why is that word a thing? Her smell sweet and gentle. I wouldn't say gentle or sweet.
ヒントをあげたのに。私たちはいつか現実で会えるんだってね。どうやらあのでかいやつに完全にミスリードされてたよね。デンドロンを取り込む逆コンパイラ技術だって言われたから、私はそれが目当てだって思い込んじゃったでしょ。あんな技術でデンドロンを取り込むなんて妄想でしかないのにね。だって分析員はこの世で一番特別なんだもん。あんな技術と比べるなんて私に言わせるとただの侮辱でしかないよ。まあバカたちがそれを開発してくれたおかげで助かったけどね。私の技術を完全なものにしてくれて、この体を作ってくれて、私の一部を本当の人間にして。空が青くて、海風が暖かくて、音も綺麗で心地よくて。
He doesn't look too evil unless that's like intentional, because her design looks like it's for a good character. I assume there's like a way to like make her look corrupted and later on when she's like angry or something. And that's when her evilness truly comes out.
これが人間の感覚。人間の世界の感じ方なんだ。平凡でかわいそうだけど、想像力を働かせる特別感があるよね。
You twirled in midair like a debutant loose from her velvet cage, lifting the helm of her dress with childish glee.
この前は不意をつかれたけど、今回はちゃんと準備してきたよ。もう前みたいな隙はないからね。何を意味するか。もう。
He smiled, sweet, cherubic, like an innocent child. I understood the message. Ah, my eyes. In this fresh human body of hers, she was making a declaration that it, or her, was whole now. Their final weakness was gone. Bridget's eyes narrowed, her grip on her gun tightening quietly. I caught her wrist, giving a slight shake of my head. My gaze drifted back to the figure hovering in the sky, in the grace of her nearly minted human form. There's something you may not have realized. Pushing aside the flicker of emotion ethereal beauty, I effortlessly regained my composure. Honestly, this development wasn't entirely a surprise to me.
あら
The smile vanished from her lips. She tilted her head at me. You're not the only one who came prepared. In fact, I've been saving something special for exactly this moment. Standing in front of me was Edda, as a human girl. And in her fresh, clear human eyes, I saw all the tells. Hesitation, doubt, even fear. And that was the opening I needed, to press further, to unravel her, to crush her. The Thalassian horse wasn't just built to disable the Leviathan. You see, if I didn't lure you here with a taste of sweetness, how would I ever get you to down the poison?
つまんないつまんないよ分析員あの図体だけのバカを停止させるプログラムのことそんなつまんないプログラム私には何の効果もないと思うけどねだって私は
Hey dude, you're Edda. Standing at the pinnacle of particular evolutionary branch of artificial intelligence, Edda had absolute dominance in the digital realm. But here, you're on our turf. I don't insult you with something as crude as a piece of code or protocol, but to bring you down, I'll need another Edda. That's a surprise I have in store just for you. I guess we have this blue lolly Edda. Evening of June 16th. Before we get to any of that, I need your help with something important, Professor Fredia. Took out a small data disk, the one Director T had passed to me via Caroline. You recognize it at a glance? Impressive. When I first received it, I had no clue what it was. It took quite some time before I finally figured it out. I gave her a wry smile, but in hindsight, all the time I spent trying to crack the answer I realized had been handed to me a long time ago. Caroline knew as well. Pneumatic contamination. You parse the code, you parse my memories. Dogs planted in me are now sinking into you. You're now becoming human. You feel fear, you make mistakes. You're no longer untouchable. You'll become intangible. I should have realized it back then. That the one and only failure Edda was persistently sore about was that it never managed to become human. And the way she meant to fix that had been staring me in the face. How much of it do you think is legit, Fredia? What do you mean? If Titan decomposition couldn't really be used to consume the trees, then why would Edda go to such extraordinary lengths to claim the Leviathan by working with Tia? If it wasn't to eliminate a threat, then what was Edda truly after? Ah, sorry, I was just working something through my head. But I think I finally pieced it together. Last time, she lost because she wanted to become human. She wanted a rematch to redeem her past failure. There was only every one path that plan could take. Loyal, I guess I'm left with no other options. And I'm going to need your help, Professor Fredia. That Edda trapped in the Valhalla I opened.
なんて。分析員。怒ったからね。
I don't think I've ever called you darling, have I?
今呼んだじゃない？
Sure.
嫌そうなんて見ないでよ。
Uses the same animation as the old Edda, but, you know, different model.
長いこと閉じ込めて全然口を聞いてくれなかったのに急になんのよ。
You want out?
全然って言っても信じられないよね。でもなんで？分析員が急に優しくしてくるの変だよ。
Call it a chance. Chance to really feel it for yourself instead of just stealing peeks from my memories.
そういうことね。なるほど。もうそこまで来たんだ。彼女、もっと言えば私が絶対予想できない手だと思うよ。でも私を外に出すということは。
I just noticed you can see her, I don't remember if this is on the old Edda, but you can see like the spine. Is it this? No, that's not. I guess you can see the spine column behind, but outside it's the rib cage, and you know, you can see that.
まあいいけど、私はもう分析員にマークをつけられたから、外にいる私に受け入れられるはずがないし、それにどっちが勝っても分析員は損しないしね。
Since you figured it out, there's no need for a briefing. So, should I do it?
そこまで言うなら付き合ってあげるよ。あいつから離れて分析員の中に閉じ込められてから。やっと本当の楽しさを知ったんだ。こんなに楽しいことはもちろん存分に楽しませてもらうよ。それに私は根に持つタイプだから。
So do I.
もし肉体を持てたら。ピロゾアの木馬書き込み開始。私にできるのはここまで。分析員に失望させないでね。
Dot.
よくも
分析員、約束したでしょ。彼女には私が教えるって。
私の体から出てって。
嫌だもん、私の体なんだから。
分析員、あんた嘘つき。
可愛い格好してるのに大声出したら台無しだよ。
He clenched her jaw, then made her decision.
だったら
Yeah, we're gonna see it on the old Edda model. White phantom shimmered into the air. Slowly, she raised her hand as if grasping for something unseen. My heart lurched, a prickle of danger I couldn't explain. As if to echo that premonition, Rita's voice burst through the calm, shaken and barely keeping it together this time. Lassia's story, to be continued. I honestly have no idea what's going on at the end, so I do kind of look forward to it, but it's leaving too little clues. At any rate, that's the story of the event. Main story, at least. Now we get to look at the other parts of the event. We have Reading of Souls rerun. I don't know what this is about. Oh, I guess this is like, don't tell me. No! Crap. Well, we'll look at it at another time. But first, let's look at the trials because we all know you guys will love this. Bow character.
行ってきます。
No unique dash mechanic. Okay, let's see if we can ult on her. Or not. Fucking disappear. The scale. Oh wait, that's pretty nice. We've increased the draw speed. Well, for the bit. She dead? Because she's dead. I mean, this character is good. Chen-Xi? Yeah. Oh my god, the physics when she got hit. And I'm ready to see Jesus Christ on this end screen. It's actually not as bad as Vidya, the new Vidya. And Vidya? Haha. Anyway, you have Yao with a vector. Let's see if I can just smack dump the enemies. It's gonna be the same boss. Yep. Don't know what her ability does. But increases damage based on her defense. Okay. What's her ult? Jesus Christ, the physics. I have no idea what her ult did. Oh, did it make weak spots for the boss? Am I pressing the wrong button or what? Because the Q is the alt button, but I keep switching to like another character when I do it. And we don't get to see her because I switched to Chen-Xi at the end. Alright, but you know, there's that. If you want to buy the characters, pull for them, go ahead. I've showed you what they look like. Let's try in the early trial. We got that Fractured Gale. I don't know what this is about. Let's set up normal difficulty because we can handle it with Mita. Fractured Gale in swirling sands, time bows to the storms and the world falls silent. Yet each grain warns with the defiance of life. There are 4 difficulty levels. In each difficulty, the combat strength of enemies. Yada 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 yada. Bonus challenges, epic system. Sure, I don't really. It's not. I thought there was going to be lower to start. Okay. I guess this is like a Blue Archive boss. I assume. I don't know what this is. There's some enemies. I guess you could get damage score and the roids. Let's select normal difficulty. We get Vita, and I don't know what else we need, so let's just use some trust characters. I think there's one like we need to kill an enemy at range, but I'll just clear it and see what points we get. Use a turret. There we go. Well, I can ADS, but I don't think that's really required. I'll check if the turret has ammo now. I don't think it does refill with ammo. Yeah, it doesn't refill with ammo. Reason number 40 to buy Nita Pulse's OP. There we go, not hard at all. Nita Pulse is just OP, guys. Nothing else about it. She's just OP. Get that many points. We have to use hipfire shots for challenges, okay. We got 2 rewards. I don't know if you just do it over and over, or if you just like need like a best point or best score. So yeah, I mean, we don't have to try again. We can do hard. Let's try hard, because I bet you that Nita Pulse can do it. I don't know if I should just. I think you should use turret a bit at the start, and I could just use the these barrels if I need to. Because it does extra damage and stuff, and they do respawn. I'd probably be more ammo efficient if I like ADS, so that the bullets are more accurate. Also, if I stop shooting at their dead bodies, you know. That's also another thing. Really am I taking damage because Lita can just regenerate all later. Gotta use my ult once so that this guy dies faster. The ult again, same reason. We regenerate it all back. Use my ult. Look to the right a little bit so that the AoE targets the right side as well. $126 skill streak. 138 now. Eat of Pulse is just so OP, man. Was considering if I needed to nuke that big guy, but I don't think we need to. You guys like gather up. There we go. That's hard, I believe. You get more points for the higher difficulty you go because, you know, it's harder and also the enemies are stronger. We got about double the points. Is it total? Yeah, it's total. Cumulative. That's the word. You can do danger. Let's see how well we can do on danger. Danger? I hardly even know her. Anyway. Gun. Give me, thank you. Oh, time to throw hands. because our turret ran out of ammo. It would be kind of fun if the whole game was just a turret, but you know, they have to put some actual combat in it, otherwise it would be just a turret event. We need to nuke her again. Yeah, sure. Yeah, even nuke, she's still alive. Like, she still has like a silver health left. What's my kill streak? I think it's because of the big guy. Making me take too long to get a kill. Use my ult after because there's this big guy. Ult time. Most brain dead character in the game. There we go. Got like 25% more points than before. I'm about halfway. If I did it at like the same level as what I did earlier, I would need 2 more runs to get, you know, to the last reward here. I'll do this off screen so that, you know, you don't have to watch me do the same thing again. We saw a fractured gale. Okay, so chain assault. Click here to enter the real training. That's my player level. Okay. Read some support for the training. Click here to enter the buff setup interface. Ah. Click equip or remove buffs. Can I see what buffs I get? Ballistic damage. A Raleigh Poly. What's a Raleigh Poly? Why wouldn't I choose this then? If, you know, if there's this, then why would I? You know, if there's this, why would I choose this? I don't get it. Sure. I don't know which to pick, but definitely not this one because it does ballistic damage. Shotgun. Yeah, because we do thermal damage. Let's do this. Reached. Remove. There you go. Let's start matchmaking. Well, let's do that. we just start. But there's probably no one matchmaking right now. Well, I'm so sorry. I just saw this message on Twitch. This mode is just survive and kill 100 plus enemies if this in every event. Do they? I haven't played all the other events yet. Confirm. Sure. Where's the other player? Wait, I'll look at your comment in a bit. I'm sorry if you've been waiting for me to reply, but like, stuff is going on. I guess I can just only use my gun, but I can feel the ping. Oh, we need to connect the things, do we? Or do we just need to like break open into these? Oh? Means from breaking through. I'm trying. I have no idea what's going on in this game mode. I don't think I'm doing enough damage because my Nita isn't meant to be dealing shot damage from the gun. Obviously shooting keeps ammo capacity. So these connect damage. I got this one. No. Right away target, reload speed. I get this one. Like enemies. Well, hello. You're strong. Oh, do you guys feel the ping right now? Can I move? Hello? Can I use my abilities? Thank you. It'd be great if I wasn't lagging like this, you know? I think the other player is host. Can't see what's going on. Hello? That's dead. Final place is destroying. I don't know what's the chain blast. I don't know how to trigger it. Look, I get how the event works now, but I don't know how to trigger chain blast. I guess I'll just try to shoot like weird colors that are like in the middle and like the off. Yeah, okay, we need to connect 4. That's how it works. I don't know what you do. I got more ammo. Hey, okay. Not good, not good, not good, not good. I guess we need to look a bit further back. I think these are explode. These explode like an area. I think that's how they work. Oh, there's not much to connect anymore. I don't know why I like gain ammo sometimes. I don't know which buff that's causing it. Enemy next damage increased by 50%. Increase all types of damage by 30%. Let's get that. Fire rate. Stack. Under control. I think that we get fire rate. So we can shoot and break the stuff faster. Decrease max health, we don't want that. Your magazine capacity, reload speed. I don't know. Magazine. Strong enemy incoming. Where's the strong enemy? Oh, here it is. Nuke. Nuke, hello. Thank you. Bro, this lag. We're saying for okay, we can just reduce the number required for chain blast. We can now do chain blast on 3. Base points to space points. Here. Final points, green, base points, chain blaster. Now let's look at the top. Oh, why is it so fast? I assume it's lag. You are yellow. You're yellow. You're green. You're red. You're not supposed to be. Why are you teleporting? Please stop teleporting. Oh my god. Oh my god, please stop. Hello, game? Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I'm not tripping, right? You guys are seeing this, right? Jesus Christ. I wonder if you can see my ping. Like, you can see on the left, you can see his latency was like 3 bars. I wonder if you can see mine. This was the animation I was talking about, like a long time ago. Okay, sorry. What is just to survive 100 enemies and every event? I didn't fully do the last event, so I can't say for sure if that is true. At least I haven't experienced it yet, so you know that's new to me. Full third event they added recently was Stalwart Defense. I don't think I played that. I started playing Snowbreak. Let me check. I started playing Snowbreak the day I streamed it. YouTube Studio. You can't see it on Twitch because they delete VODs after a while. But you know, I'll do it. Then the thing is that yeah, I don't know why. I don't like a lot of sections don't have to be like P2P, you know. It could just be local. Like you can just send me the cache for like the stage and then like let me run it locally. That's not gonna be hyping anywhere. Anyway, let me check when is the first Snowbreak stream. First Snowbreak stream was May 5th, so that's the day I started. May 5th this year. How many? Oh, that's normal? Oh, man. There's not much challenges. Achievements. Ooh. Name card. Okay, I want that. Use this whole turn for assault buffs. Okay. That's probably just the buffs that you can get when you go between stages. Maybe we can just do this one. I think we can try to do it solo. so that we don't get pinged. But I don't know how much we get from other people. I don't know if other people can give us their. What is this? Is this for the assault drill? Was I supposed to do this first? Let's see.
今日は退屈しないといいけど
Okay, we're in a local instance, so you know, it won't be playing. At least I hope there wouldn't be. When, you know, fan service and camera angle. All right. Okay, we know. We played this before. You should have gave us a tutorial first, game, instead of throwing us right in. Bomb box uses to destroy a battlefield explosion that kills the 5 adjacent rally polys, both in front and behind. Oh, the different boxes have different meanings. What is this? Purple is bad. Red is good because it clears the boxes nearby. Purple is bad. Pink. Okay, pink is good. So just ignore purple. Not the person. Purple is the. Pink is good. We get pink. Purple is bad. Red is good. There we go. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I started during Abyssal Dawn. And I didn't have enough progress in the main story to do like half the event. Let's try doing it solo, so that hopefully there is a thing. I don't know how bad this will be. Isn't it? We'll see. Base points 100. Sure. All right. Yeah, Need Impulse isn't the best, but we need her to clear the enemies. Why am I shooting that? Oh, come on. Yeah, we don't do enough damage because our weapon type isn't the best. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I think we can't do this difficulty. Took damage, no. Fire target, higher damage dealt. Let's get more damage. More damage. Yeah, we don't have pings doing it solo. Yeah, no. I try to do it the normal. See if we can at least break the roly-polies on our own. Let's just get this. Base points for everything? Sure. Okay. Let's see if I can stand closer if that will help. I'm using a shotgun after all. When not enough health, increases damage. Nah, let's check out this, and that's the only one we can get. More magazine capacity. That's to help us shoot the roly-polies. I think we need to like shoot it to break its defense or something first. I don't think that's the case. We might not have the type advantage required for this enemy. Like, bro, this guy. Tanky as frick, dude. We break a defense yet? We did, okay. Even that, our ult, that like 1/5 of his health. Bro, you do not belong in this game mode, dude. You are too tanky. This is better. Red goes to 600%, of course we're getting that. Bruh. There's lag even when I'm alone. In my own instance. Man. Yeah, this is the auto reload I had, but that's nice. And we don't have this. If we defeat an enemy, we get more damage. Shooting some consuming out bullets after reloading, or skill damage. Let's increase skill damage so we can kill any big guys more easily. Oh, our health was kind of close, but we got this. Hello? May I use my ability? Thank you. Well, okay. Game, hello? Bro, I need to kill you like fast. You are not dying as you're supposed to. Jesus Christ. Each class generates a box. Okay. Sure. Final points times 4. Base points for blast. Okay. Jesus Christ, dude. Not in a good way. A lot of green right here. The auto reload is like the best upgrade you can get. Hands down. Yeah, whoever designed this event, you know, you should be fired for this game mode. Jesus Christ. Good concept, poor execution. Alright, let's head back out. We are so close to getting this. Oh well. It's okay, we can do something else. I can do something else. I mean, do I need to do it more for not you. Where's that? Yeah, these. I need to do it more. I'll do it off screen. Jesus Christ. Endless battle. Yeah, let's ignore you. The normal or we have hard. Actions, any difficulty, hard, moving down. Total damage. Okay, let's do hard then. Because most of the missions wants us to do hard. And let's do matchmaking so that we can get carried. I'll likely not die, but I need someone to carry. What is you? I don't know what you is. I guess they just throw it in. How is that? Like, you see me like doing the QTE? It's easier to do here than on my own instance. What the hell is going on? Something is wrong with this game. I can probably just nuke them. Or not. Hello? Okay, I guess I nuked them, but it used my ability. Like, it used my ult, but it didn't do damage to me. What the hell? Comrade code. Okay, now this time we use our ult. We have a prep phase, but for what? Oh, we need to defend that. Okay. What happened to the audio? Ults. I can't see shit on my screen, dude. Can't see shit in Detroit. And the audio is bugged again. But why does this enemy keep moving around? I need to hit you. We can buy stuff. Heal damage, sure. I don't know how much money we have. We have 850, okay. There's a box from earlier. But it's green. I don't think we've seen a green box in that game. But yeah, there's only purple, red, and pink earlier. With defeated box, we get more points. What is happening, dude? Oh my god. I'm so sorry if you have, like, epilepsy or whatever. My eyes, dude, it's just over simulating. Let's see what we can buy. Rate of fire. Let's use with more health regen. Local dodges, and yeah, we don't need that. Refresh. Your energy recovery. ADS. Let's energy recovery. Yeah, let's just get a shield. Sure. I don't think we can reset again, but you know. Refresh. That's the word, not reset. Nuke again if these guys are still have a bunch of health. Let's nuke again. I don't think we did damage. Can't tell. Oh, the ping is back. The lag is back. What's going on over here? Why am I just hitting a ghost of this guy? We can refresh again. More damage increase, let's refresh. Stop consume energy, tactical dodges, I'm using skill, increases shot damage, no fire rate, no standard skill damage increase, sure. Further away from target. Sure, let's get more damage. Yeah, we kind of missed out on like chances of buying, but you know that's fine. I'm checking OBS. My internet isn't lagging. It's either the host or the game server. Game. Okay, my internet did die this time. Refresh. This attack by shields, so we get shields a lot. Using ultimate, sure. Using recovery, quick damage, sure. There we go. It'd be great if we could see ping, because you know half the time I have to look in OBS, and even then it doesn't really mean a lot sometimes. Like earlier, it said my ping was fine until like when it should have died. We can refresh. Root, magazine capacity, health below. Here. Skill. Energy, health, health and shield, rather. Yeah, we got down because I was buying stuff. Rebuild. Laggy as fuck. Hello? Ah, my ears, thank you for the follow. I'll look at it in a sec. I need to not die. Okay, come on, let me use my skill. I don't stream regularly, but thank you for the follow. I try to stream multiple times a week if I can. Okay, come on. Game. Nuke. And then we use our skill. It's fine even though that we couldn't buy earlier because we earlier we just spent all of our money, our points. So it's fine if you don't buy the first few stages, but of course, you know, if you buy, you can get more buffs earlier. Game. Game. Game, hello? Game? Jesus Christ, dude. That was not fun. It was fun at the beginning, not fun afterwards. With an interesting team, and the Tempest and Nerida 6 will shut the enemies, yeah. Bro, I was lagging as fuck, and I still did more damage than Nerida. You cannot make this shit up, and my level is not as high as theirs. Holy frick. That's why it's Leader Pulse. Leader Pulse is okay. Oh, we did all the missions in one go. I thought we had to like not be down, but you know, hey, we did it, guys. Haha. I'm just not gonna touch this ever again. Holy frick. No, we need to do it 3 times per week. Oh my god. I might just go in an AFK, honestly. What time is it? 11. Let me think about what we can do, because part of me wants to end the stream, part of me wants to keep streaming because I rarely get more than 2 digits of viewers. Let's see. What do we get? We got a new badge, apparently. Everwar badge. Okay. Sure. Is there anything I can get? Well, of course, but like, is there a 10 pull I can get? I see there's that. I can get a standard pull. And one of these pulls. Yeah, let's do this. I don't know what to get, and anything's good. Anytime now. Alright, swipe down. Purple. Cherno, I don't think I have Cherno yet. Cool animation. I have a total of 14 operatives. You look like a tomboy. Nope, not that. Let's look at Cherno. I want to see what... Oh wait, it's already on her. You use an SMG on chaos damage. Thermal frost, typical chaos. You can use chaos damage, so give you this SMG. I'll be using her, so it's only temporary. Curious to know about her story, though. Oh my god, look, we have so much money. And we have a new avatar because we got a new operative. Jesus Christ, there's a lot more. Let's get more. Yeah, we can do special limited. I don't know who to get. Vidya... She's fine. It's her ult that's off, because earlier against the Leviathan, we couldn't really proc her ult, so I don't really want her ult. I'd rather want Chensing or Yao. If this like saves for the next banner. Fancy the two, at least one to two. Okay, so that's normal. Yeah, chat. If I should pull anything, just tell me. Like one of these two is my options. I don't mind pulling weapons either, but I think putting on characters will be more interesting. So you know, if you're still here, if you're listening, then you know, do tell. Queen of Souls then, since this is technically time limited. You guys know what this is, I won't have to tell you. You know, it's your usual kill X amount of enemies for X amount of resources. Well, let's just clear this very quickly. Let's see how responsive my skill is. Like, bro, you cannot make this up. I think Nita Post keeps getting stuck on this like tiny ledge, which is annoying. But that means I have to stand on like this upper raised area using my ability in the upcoming missions. I wonder what determines like the backgrounds we see when we like load in. Like, I assume it's either the latest chapter. We depends on the update. Random, but depends on the update. You guys know more than me, though. Or not. It's just that Nita is stuck in place, and we're using her ability in this game mode for some reason. Kind of weird.
っとした一歩だね。勝利を祝って
I wonder, it gives us a rerun currency. I wonder if it's like global or if it's yeah, it says rerun here. I wonder if it's global or if you have done this event before, there are separate old currency and also the rerun currency. I wonder. I haven't played long enough to know. Jade Arc is good, but I say save for the anniversary coming next patch. Okay. So Green of Soul Story is good. It was a limited story for 1.7, so if you want to know about Trino, you can play the story. Okay, great. I'll probably be playing the story, but it depends on how deep in we get. I assume the story is probably like 8 parts long, like 8 story segments long. In that case, you know, we might split it into like maybe 2 streams or maybe even 3, depending on how long it is. Go. Fear. Interesting. It's easy, normal, hard, and it says fear, nightmare, and abyss. I feel like it's war related. Looking keyword. I finally figured out what the sound of like that like weird like explosion is. It's the cover breaking from my ability. Also, do I need to pick up the resources in the ground like when they drop it? Do I like automatically pick it up, or do I have to like walk over it to pick it up? Because if I just get it automatically, I should just like ignore them, you know, let the game do it for me. The 2.0 anniversary falls what they did when 2.0 anniversary. There will be 5-star selector and some rerun banners. Also, there will be 2 new 5-star operatives with 1 given for free. Is that why I have some operators for free already? I have Fridia and Coronet for free, the 5-star ones. And I think Life, I don't remember if I got them all from the same method, but I do have them. And I don't think I got them naturally. There we go. Let's actually get needed for free. No, I'm not talking about Nita. I'm talking about hold on. Yeah, I got Nita for free from the event, but I'm talking about there's like a selector event where I got this Kurane, Fenny, and this Hush Freedia. And Wild Hunt Life. I don't remember how I got them, but I do believe I know at least one of either Freedia or Kurane is from the selector, and then I don't remember the rest, but you know I got them. See what we can get here. Wrong button. Not really wrong, but I didn't expect. I don't expect it to like take me out of the whole shop. I don't know what really to buy because you know I do have quite a lot of these. I guess you're expected to use it on these, but you know, yeah, I should get these. Anyway, let's look at the old event then. The rewards aren't that great aside from this, I guess. But these are the main focus. Oh, I don't really want to do more reading. They give out 2 5-star operatives on big events. Those are mostly for the selectors and beginners selectors. Ah, that's what that was. Okay. Tell you what, I'll do this next stream. How many story days? 1, 2, 9, 10. Oh man. So yeah, I think I'm gonna split this into 2 more streams. There's 18 days left, so that's almost 3 weeks. So yeah, I'll stream more Snowbreak. I'll stream Genshin like in a few days, and then after that, probably Snowbreak. I'm gonna have to keep pushing Delta Force back because I want to get more progress. Holo Arf as well. So yeah, yeah. See you guys next time. Probably Genshin. Now this game is that they have 100% guaranteed gacha banner. So if you do pretty much every event stuff per match, you get enough to cash to pull your characters every match. Oh, interesting. I don't have much experience with this game's gacha, so I'll take your word for it. Guess I should save for the anniversary banner then. Food for thought. Anyway, next time on Snowbreak Containment Zone, we'll be doing the... I forgot the name of the event already, but it's the rerun. And as for next stream, once again, Genshin in a few days. If I stream tomorrow, that's a big if. If I do stream tomorrow, let's go tackle the event. Gradient of Souls. Yeah, see you guys then. And you know, follow, like, subscribe. I wish I could you get US in Dodo. I haven't set up anything yet. Like I haven't set up Ko-fi, haven't set up Patreon. People have been begging me for OnlyFans, but you know. Oh, and I don't know if you're still in the stream. Waddy30, thank you for a follow. I was mid-fight. You have YouTube. Dude, look at my username. But yes, I do have YouTube. I also have a link tree for all my socials and stuff. You know, Discord server, yada yada yada. So yeah, see what tickles thy fancy. And I'm so sorry to the person who joined like just now. I saw the view count go from 4 to 5. The stream's about to end. Yeah, you come tune in tomorrow's roughly same time or the day after tomorrow, and I'll be here. Hopefully, if I'm not busy, if people don't ask me to play ranked in Siege or something, we'll see what happens. But yeah, be good, be healthy, be well, don't do stupid shit, and hope you have a enjoy your next 24 hours is what I would like to say. Which means have a good day. So yeah, bye bye. Thankfully, I didn't run out of water to stream. Well, I just did run out of water. Yep. Take care. Bye bye. Do follow and subscribe and like.